Hello, whoever you are, wherever you're watching this. My name is Kasper Salonen, and I'm a spoken word poet from Finland. And I'll be performing 3 poems for you today. This is for the Nord-Ill Library Conference, and I'm very, very happy to be a part of this. If you're taking part in that conference right now, I hope you're having a great time. So without further ado, I'll start with a poem from my first collection that I published in 2014, little chapbook that I did called Correlations. And I chose one here that reflects a theme of climate disorder and climate change, and that's kind of the stuff that I want to be speaking about. So this is called Status Quo. The sparrow is lean and teeters, lanky like a kid he has not eaten. His fears have failed his throat and set his eyes all amuck, twin spiders spinning in gusts. He is deathly careful of us, the loud kings, vengeful and proud, gracious like a hard, horrid wind around high houses, stale and scraping. Strolling as though the sun's own crown were weighing our sorry skulls, or the seeds and stems of rain were in our silly fists jingling, smug and poised without hurry to be strewn however we look up smirking and decide. The shade's eye winks, twitches, and the pattern's flails stable in their weightless shelter, the fake maze mending. The sparrow goes hungry for a heat-rise blur, a shadow, and we continue, admire. Yeah, some older stuff. Another project that I've had for many years and that I have the great opportunity to have a publisher for even is the work of translating the poetry of a Finnish poet called Aaltonen. Passed away in 2005, and since nobody had translated that many of his poems into English, I started doing that a few years ago, and it's coming out in book form soon. Happy about that as well. This one is by Aaltonen, originally called Tulin etsimään sitä täältä, sielua. In English, I came looking for it here, my soul. I received a soul once, but I lost it in the moonlight's reflection in a broken mirror, in the blackened husk of a poppy seed. We discern only the roar of the waves, those that carried us, tear salt still on our cheeks from that storm, the crushed oyster shells of a crater lake. I received a soul, lost it. I came to look for it, here where the wind crawls to hide among the long grass in the yard, moves there like a hedgehog. May the sky ring as a sea of fire when the last light of autumn's wildflowers goes out on the empty plot of land. I find the steps of a demolished house where a family still sits in a photo from 1962. The mother is smiling. The father's beret is aslant. Johnny, remember me, I'm a good boy. Under the oil gravel is the dirt road I must travel to follow the fossil tracks of an old Zeter's wheels chugging along. Thick brown bottle shards in a scathing mass of poison ivy in the 50s when a murderer still slept in a warm sauna. Toward the moment of my birth, and the melody of a broken music box follows me, the Indian scream of forgotten summers. There are finger marks on my soul. They are clues to crimes from long ago. All of this must suffice. When ink pumps again in my veins, Honer's ink, until memory is gone with the memory of the soil, and the grass remembers correctly. Keeps growing. And so, I have one more for you. This is a spoken word, again, from many years ago, whose themes seem more available these days than they were then, I might even say. The world is changing and poems change with them. So here's one more poem. Thank you for listening, and if you're at the conference, have a good time. Wherever you are, I hope you're well. Yeah, this poem is called Puzzle Pieces. The principle to be imparted and taken to heart is that we all give and receive. In the dark, we are light, shining points on our sea charts when reality bites and heaves, aligning stars shining through leaves, altruistic mystics and kings among thieves. We bite our thumbs and our tongues and our rabbit's ears, but when you mention the devil appears, and it seems we should never take heed or give credence to our fears. But it's all about finding balance when blindfolded, making the best of the nest of your mind that you find eroded. I tripped over a jumble of heartstrings, but instead of falling, I decided to glide. Now, who am I? I'm Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I fly my freely flapping freak flag with pride, and I coaxed myself a new persona the day the music died. Navigated the gateways of faith when I tried and failed. I got tongue-tied and I flailed. Flooded the engine when my train of thought bought the farm and derailed. I'm no longer the watchman on the ship that sailed, because now I climb electrical trees in my sleep and I wake up in bloom. 2 tombs over, there's room to improve your afterlife groove. Go talk to the snakes and snails who punch loving nails in your everlasting trail of days if your spiritual thoughts are so smooth. I'm here to twist and turn with the living, to feel bliss and to burn when I'm not giving, to rattle the sieve of love and time, and graciously gather what's already mine. The pieces of a puzzle whose patterns we mime, and that jingle-jangle in the angles of the jungles that our blood navigates. When it sates, our appetites for snake's venom served on slates of silver on napkins of denim under brighter lights than those we see ourselves in. And we're blind to the chambers we ring our bells in, and to the fact that our hearts aren't muscles, but chapels that we design our own hells in. And that heaven is a jumbled mosaic, as lyrical as it is prosaic. In giving and receiving, we wheel around what tomorrow will be archaic, because the ball of twine in the maze vanishes in the blaze of our stumbling feet, walking Spanish down a beautiful one-way street. And we'll never finish the puzzle, or learn how to juggle and slide from phase to phase till the right sides of the right pieces meet, unsung in a blunt, lovely tongue, and resung in a seed-heedless speed sped rung up which to clamber. This is love in the time of choruses and crocuses, the time to switch from amber to green, and to redefine where our focus is. That's something I hope we will all continue to do as a civilization. See where we should be focusing our energies and where we shouldn't. So again, thank you so much. There's more poetry to come. My name is Kasper. Have a wonderful day.